Headlines on NewsX.
Welcome back. The rumble rocking the BJP is creating new waves of euphoria in the third front, with the Saffron Party divided and the Congress weak now. New hope is springing in the hearts of Naveen Patnaik and other third front proponents. While Naveen Patnaik's BJD is holding rallies in the capital to make its party's presence felt, Mamata Banerjee in Kolkata is busy holding meetings with possible third front allies. The JDU, which is currently on the verge of a split from the BJP, sent its emissary to Mamata Banerjee.
She was of the opinion that both the alliances have failed to keep the faith of the alliance partners. She is for a federal type of a structure on all India level. But since we are the part of NDA, it will not be possible for us at this moment to respond. Mamata ji is of the opinion that the election will be held in November, not in 2014. And it is the political program which will be the leader of the new front. It is not the person.
The main thing is that I gave some appeal through my Facebook that let the non-Congress and non-BJP, the federal force, let's be together for the next parliament election. And I already discussed the matter with Naveen Patnaik ji and Nitish Kumar ji. When they will respond in a positive way, then I'll let you know. But discussion is going on. We are the friends and we can talk each other. Somebody may be with the NDA, somebody may be with the UPA. It doesn't mean that every election they will be with the same combination. So anybody can change any time. They can come up together with the federal structure. That is the only difference.
Further indications arrive that the JDU, the oldest and the biggest ally of the party, may be the first one to walk out of the NDA fold. Sources are telling NewsX that JDU is in touch with independent MLAs Pawan Jaiswal, Som Prakash and Vinay Bihari for mustering support for the Bihar government in the event of a BJP exit. Though BJP and JDU both have been quick to deny reports of any rift, there are reports that LK Advani has called up Nitish Kumar and Sharad Yadav as well to try and save the NDA from falling apart. The party has 118 MLAs in the 243-member Bihar Assembly and needs the support of only 4 more MLAs to reach the magic figure of 122. There are 6 independent MLAs in the House at present, the BJP having 91, RJD 22 and the LJP and CPI have 1 each.
The third front is a distant dream. It's not realizable, and the Indian voters know it. States with regional parties are very upset, and as a result, if they talk among themselves, I'm not surprised. It's clear signal that states are being treated differently. There's a lot of discontent all over the country.
Alliance partner JDU is also, it seems, breaking away from you, and they are holding negotiations with TMC for a third front. So, how strong your alliance is with the JDU now?
JDU is a very old partner of the BJP. More than about 10 crores of voters in Bihar had earlier, about 3 years ago, given a clear mandate for this alliance of the JDU-BJP to govern Bihar because it is possible.
JDU President Sharad Yadav has denied any rift in the NDA. Talking to reporters in Delhi, he said the party will meet and decide over the issue later.
This alliance is not going.
उसमें पार्टी में सब जगह हम सबसे चर्चा कर रहे हैं और अभी कोई फैसला नहीं किया, सबसे चर्चा कर रहे हैं। 2-3 दिन में हमने पहले भी कहा था कि पार्टी की मीटिंग बुला करके उसमें फैसला करेंगे। अभी एनडीए में कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है कि ये टूट गया है। हाँ, एक विशेष परिस्थिति अडवाणी जी की, तो वो जिस परिस्थिति में उन्होंने जो बयान आया है कि वो वापस ले लिया है।
While the JDU, BJD and TMC are fueling talks of a third front in 2014, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha, for now, is being very cautious. The Tamil Nadu CM says there will be a friendly government at the centre next year. At a function in Chennai, she said, and I quote now, We are awaiting the approval of the present GOI. If the approval fails to materialize, I solemnly assure Dr. Shanta that next year there will be a friendly government in place at the centre which will immediately accord the necessary approval for recognition of the Cancer Institute as Centre of Excellence, unquote. Good evening. Is it a case of pneumonitis, or has the Advani flu spurred the fractured non-Congress, non-BJP parties in the country to rise out of their slumber? Mamata Banerjee seems to be rubbing the third front lamp with unbridled enthusiasm, hoping the federal front genie will work wonders. But how realistic is that dream? Didi's preferred chief ministerial brigade might look like a proposition worth exploring. What does the ground reality really suggest? That's what we aim to find out tonight. Will 2014 throw up yet another possibility of a non-Congress, non-BJP alternative? And even if it does, can such a loose formation sustain itself? This is the NewsX debate. I'm Atar Khan. I'm joined by KG Suresh, political analyst in the studio. Chandrakant, leader from the JDU, is also with us. Also joining us will be Kalikesh Singh Deo, MP from the BJD. And in just a while, we'll also be joined by Saifuddin Soz, who is a senior leader of the Congress party. Many thanks, gentlemen, for joining me on the program. I want to start the show, if I could, with the KG Suresh. Here we go again, Suresh. The third front genie has been released by Messrs. Mamata, Naveen, Naidu and Nitish. I mean, I'm one of the few people who does not discount the possibility of a third front being relevant in 2014. I wouldn't go to the extent of saying they would form the government, but I would certainly say that it could be a possibility where they could tilt the balance of power in case of whoever party is closer to, in case of an unclear verdict or a hung parliament. Comments, please.
No. You see, usually third front is seen as a seasonal frog, which appears particularly on the eve of elections. Last year we had this very laughable scenario in 2009 of a rally in Tumkur, which was organized by Mr. Devegoda, and then even before the final results came, we saw Mr. Devegoda's son Kumaraswamy rushing to 10 Janpath to extend his support. Mr. Sitaram Yechuri, CPIM leader, also regretted that it was a cut and paste alliance and that there was no ideological affinity. It was some opportunist forces had come together. So I believe that, but the fact also remains that there are some very strong satraps who are now ruling the roost in many states.
So you would completely discount the possibility of them coming together?
I'm not ruling out, but then I am talking about the inherent contradictions within that. Now, come to think of a third front, all along in third front you have had the CPI, CPM. Now, with Mamata Banerjee being there, will the CPI and CPM be part of it?
I think it's safe to say that, yeah, that's
again,
off the
what
table.
about Mayawati or the Samajwadi Party chief, who has also been clamoring, who has also been talking about a third front?
Okay, Suresh,
now, we need to take all this.
I want to go to Mr. Saifuddin Soz right now. Mr. Soz, you're a veteran of coalition politics. In fact, it was you who brought down the first Vajpayee government with that crucial one vote. So you understand the importance of every single seat in parliament, sir. My question is this: do you think that there is a space for yet another third front alternative or a federal front, so to say, in 2014 as things stand now in the current polity of India? I mean, my point is the federal front would be full of people, big egos, big chief ministers, leaders who could possibly spontaneously combust if kept together in a room for too long. Is a third front or a federal front just a pipe dream for 2014?
It is a long question, but I will try to give a short answer. But before that short answer, I must tell you that things are not going to remain the same in BJP after Mr. Advani's resignation, and now that he has taken back that resignation, whatever the circumstances, things are not going to be the same in BJP. It has given a jolt, and it is a permanent sort of jolt to the BJP. Now, coming to your third front proposition, I must tell you, I have a situation in mind. People of this country will evolve by 2014. They have been matured at the hustings. They have shown their vigor. They defeated Indira Gandhi, but they again brought Indira Gandhi. They showed their acumen at different points of time in the electoral process. voters in India have become matured. They will not want a very fragile government at the center. I have a situation in mind that Congress party will lead a secular coalition. And even if Modi starts delivering as the chairman of a campaign, you will see that India is not available for Modi and the people of his ilk for future. India is thoroughly secular and we have become a mature democracy.
Okay, so you don't see any chance of a third front coming to power. At best, sir, if I'm not wrong, you see a Congress-led front really, what they will do is they will attract more people like maybe Nitish Kumar, but we'll talk about that in just a bit. Mr. So, stay with us. We've also been joined by Yashwant Deshmukh, editor of CVoter, of course. They came out with a poll today with the whole Advani Modi angle. We'll talk about that in just a bit as well. GVL Narasimha Rao also joins us. He's the leader of the BJP. And I want to go to the leader of the BJP before I come to Chandrakant of the JDU, because I want to talk all things JDU tonight. Mr. Narasimha Rao, do you agree that there is no space for a third front and it's going to be between a BJP plus and a Congress plus combined in 2014? Anyone else apart from that will gravitate towards those two particular poll parties?
Before I answer that question, let me I think Mr. Saifuddin Sood seems to believe mistakenly that the BJP has emerged weaker after the crisis that we have had in the last few days.
Oh, it's not just Mr. Sood, sir. A lot of other people believe that, including us.
We have emerged much stronger today. The BJP is very strong today because whatever little differences have existed have all been sorted out, and the BJP is moving forward with Mr. Modi as the leader at the helm. And therefore, I don't see any possibility. People have really suffered this UPA governance. Mr. Saifuddin Sood's party, with a record tally in the last elections, they have completely misgoverned. So the people will choose the real alternative. People will not want to trust this governance of the country with another ramshackle coalition, which has only self-interest to pursue and no national interest. So certainly, the BJP will emerge very strong, which inevitably will lead to the shrinking of the space of the third front and all other parties. So I don't see in the coming election, with the Congress having failed miserably,
Mr. Narasimha Rao,
the third front will actually, the regional parties will simply not be the favorites in the next election.
Narasimha
People
Rao,
want a government, a stable and a working government.
Will the NDA survive? JDU is about to snap ties with you. Are you in fact okay with that?
No, I think the JDU, I think will really assess their own prospects. I think the coalition has done extremely well. Should the JDU decide to part ways, I think it is the JDU which will lose heavily and the BJP would actually gain in the state of Bihar.
I'm glad you said that, sir.
All the polls have suggested.
I'm glad you said that.
We will not really be at a loss. It is JDU which will get completely wiped out.
I'm very glad you said that. Let's go to the JDU and ask the JDU what their plan really is. Chandrakant, for the JDU to be part of this so-called third front, national front, federal front, whatever you want to call it, you will have to need to snap ties with the BJP first of all. Now, sir, let me tell you, and Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao has illustrated my point, they will be more than happy to. They think that Bihar is Nitish Babu, whatever.
But if they decide to do it, they are not going to be at a loss.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Okay, let me ask you another question. The BJP, it seems, overwhelmed by pneumonitis or pneumonia, whatever you want to call it, and then the Advani flu came in. Now, Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao believes that they have come out stronger. That is, of course, the jury is still out on that. My question to you is this. If the BJP decides, and there are some factions within the party which think that Nitish Babu is Nitish Babu in Bihar because the BJP cadre is behind him, and Maharajganj seat is a prime example of that, what are you going to do? KC Tyagi met Mamta Didi today? How was the meeting? Amicable?
He is just on the flight. I think most probably tomorrow morning we will get to know.
So what about snapping ties with the BJP? Are you not in favor of that?
No, we are not in the favor of snapping the ties. We are in favor of fighting the election under the NDA, and we should. Our country people also want that kind of thing. They want to fight against the Congress major corruption. The corruption they have done, they have looted the country. Congress has looted the country. Congress people are saying they are secular. Obviously, they may be secular, but what they have given to the country.
So, can I ask you a simple question? Are you going to wait till December, or will
Nitish
Babu decide it before that whether or not he will accept Mr. Modi as the NDA Prime Minister candidate?
In today's scenario, whatever you media people are asking continuously with the different leaders, different questions, They are giving different
What
answers.
is the party's thinking on
Yeah,
this?
the party is going to meet, have a meeting. My president has also said like that, they are having a meeting within 2-3 days. What is going in this scenario, they have decided they will tell to the media.
But do you agree with what the BJP says that Nitish Babu is not Nitish Babu in Bihar unless and until the BJP cadre is behind him?
No, this is cannot say it like that. I think so.
No, there are enough reports that suggest that the BJP faction thinks like that. The Bihar faction.
If the BJP, some factions, some guys are thinking in that way, they can think it is not like a burden to on those guys.
Okay. Yashwant Deshmukh, I want to come to you. There was this poll today, and your poll in fact suggested that despite everything that has happened, Narendra Modi remains the overall most popular leader in the BJP. Now, some reports I was reading suggest that perhaps Mr. Advani is still not done. He might have another trick up his sleeve come the parliamentary board meeting. Right now, currently, what is the mood in the BJP? Do you think snapping ties with the JDU will not really affect them because they think they make the JDU and not the other way around?
Well, Bihar is a very politically evolved and conscious. I think I would not be mistaken if I will say that Bihar is the most politically evolved and conscious state. So I won't be surprised that if Bihar decides to vote for BJP in parliament and decides to vote for JDU in assembly elections, I won't be surprised at all. Bihar is capable of doing that. Having said that, Narendra Modi has captured the imagination of the middle classes and the youngsters, and he's emerging as the most popular in the ratings among all the surveys. I mean, that's not a rocket science. Everybody knows that. The thing is that we are coming out to a situation where I would like to remind 1998 elections when the BJP had formed 13 days government, and the question on which in the parliament Vajpayee's government did not survive was a question of secularism. I remember that all the parties who were outside the NDA at that point of time did not vote for Vajpayee, citing that they are trying to be secular. But within a year, all those parties were very much part of the under the leadership same Vajpayee, under the leadership same Advani. And the question became of being anti-Congress. So question of being secular or question of being anti-Congress is the basic question that the politics of this country has to address, the political parties of this country have to address. And as far as my understanding goes, majority of the federal or the regional parties have their base in being anti-Congress. They don't have their base in being pro-secular or anti-secular.
So a federal front would harm the UPA or the Congress more than it could ever harm the NDA or the BJP?
I would like to say that first of all, I don't agree with the term the third front, because majority of these players are actually first front or the second front in their respective
states.
states.
Regional powers.
They are the regional powers. They are the alternatives in there. But they have to understand that the mandate given to them by the public at large was anti-Congress mandate. The mandate given to them was not really anti-BJP or anti-communal mandate. So that is where the 98 and 99 debate is going to come back. People or leaders of these parties, do they read that mandate again to be an anti-BJP mandate? Mamata Banerjee, Jayalalitha, Nitish Kumar or Biju Janata Dal's Naveen Patnaik, all these leaders, including for that matter, including even SP and BSP, their basic existence or
anti-Congress plank.
But anti-Congress
I get your point. I want to go back to Professor Soz right now. Professor Soz, hypothetically, this is another slightly long question, sir, so please bear with me. Hypothetically, Mr. Soz, let's assume that by some major upheaval in the voting patterns of the country, let's say regional parties or regional issues assert their domination in 2014. Let's throw in the polarizing factor that Mr. Narendra Modi, of course, has come. Because of Narendra Modi has come the polarizing factor. Let's also assume it somehow all clicks for the third front. And how are they going to decide on a consensus candidate? It is not 1996 anymore, and Didi is no Harkishan Singh Surjit. How are they going to manage?
See, my understanding is that, and RSS has shown its hand very openly now. As a deeply Hindu cultural organization, BJP must have been very happy. But now that RSS is openly dictating, even BJP people, many of them are not comfortable with that. And Modi is not a unifying factor. My understanding in India is that it has grown into a vast situation of a strong democracy, a plural democracy, and a secular democracy. Modi has no future in this country. I can tell you that. Average Hindu is not parochial, average Hindu is not communal. And BJP was also trying to adjust on the border, on the border of secular polity. So therefore, I see a clear situation that my country